Okay, that was a really crazy reading, so I'm just going to break it down a little more. You know what? I worked in supply chain and manufacturing for my whole career. And at some point or another, I've been in retail the last few years. Before that, I was in factories in China and raw material component factories. So when it says here, most of our products are being made by people who do not enjoy making them, whether as owners or workers, it couldn't be 100% more true. I've witnessed it. I've been the one auditing factories and testing products. And it says their aim in the enterprise is not the product, but money. And then therefore, every trick is used to cut the cost of production and hoodwink the buyer by coloring and packaging chicanery into the belief that the product is well and truly made. And I have personally been working on this the last couple of decades, and I wanted to speak about that. That's like the main reason I wanted to make videos, but it seems like you're just pointing at the problem, and that doesn't seem to help anything. But oh my God, I get this. It's so heartless, and people want to talk about sustainability and environment, but they don't want to address that main issue. Like, the main thing polluting the environment is this BS we're doing to cut the cost of production and hoodwink the buyer. And then for sustainability, like I got my protein powder and my dog's new vitamin, and it doesn't have a scoop in it. Like, it always had a scoop. And what do I see all over the package? We're being more sustainable. No more scoop. You have to use a tablespoon. And I get it. Like, don't get me wrong. Straws do really get into the ocean. The little plastic things that used to be around the 6-packs on cans of soda, those really hurt animals. But the scoops are generally thrown away in the old bin, and they probably aren't really ending up in the ocean. But what is that? I know exactly what that is. That's a person, like a head of the business, saying, hey, sustainability department, I need you to find me something I can do as a marketing sustainability perk, saying I'm really into this, and also save me money. Anytime you're working in product safety or human rights or human resources or social responsibility or sustainability, you want to know the truth? They are all just BS. They cost the company money. They never want to fund you. And it's your job to find ways where you can kind of further the initiative or use it to make them look good and save them money. Always. It's always about saving money. You want to know the truth about audits and people that we're supposed to protect, sending an auditor to go check how they're checked? It's bribed out. That's the truth. That's the real truth. None of it's real. There's children in supply chain everywhere. We're dumping sludge into water sources all over the place. You don't care as the buyer because you only want cheap. Why? Because we've bought into this. We don't even require that the product is well and truly made anymore. We don't even care where it's made. I can order things that doesn't even say where it's made, which is supposed to be illegal. We are supposed to have regulatory places that watch that. But nobody cares anymore because we want it cheap. And then we wonder why nothing is of quality. And like he says, it's a joke. The whole scheme is a vicious cycle, because when you made the money, what will you buy with it? There's nothing of quality left. And you're rotting out the earth. And then you're trying to make it look like you're doing something good so you can still further trick the buyer. I mean, really, you're just saving more money and not reducing the price. You're just making more profit. And now our prices are going up, and guess what? The conditions in the factory haven't changed. You didn't even use that money to drive people being treated better or to do something better for the environment. It's just getting absorbed so the CEO can get a bigger bonus. And I don't have a problem with people making money, but these CEOs are idiots. They're morons, okay? And then when he talks about, like, they're just part of tricking the buyer and the whole company a little bit more. They're figureheads. I don't know what their deal is. But even here, it's hilarious. He's talking about boats. They bought the boats as status symbols or as toys, but I'm discovering they are not toys as advertised. They lost interest. You know, when I worked for a footwear company, I was manufacturing a lot of children's shoes, all right? And I was running a part of the business that was making about $250 million worth of shoes. That's first cost, right? So they were being picked up in China, so they sold for a lot more than that. And the CEO who did that was supposedly the guy who put lights in children's shoes, and he was supposed to be all about kids. Of course, I actually found out he stole it from someone who'd actually put it in a high heel, but we'll ignore all of that, right? Because the guy didn't have an NDA, and so he couldn't do anything about it. But that guy, and he was a great guy. I liked him a lot. He's passed now. He had a boat. That's the hilarious thing about this. And you know what he did with his boat? He'd park it at our Christmas party every year, and we could all tour it. And the big story was he had competed with some country music star like Garth Brooks or something like that, or Miley Cyrus's dad or something, to buy it for like $38 million or something. And he did have a crew on it, and we would all tour it every Christmas party. And I don't remember him ever going on a real journey other than to take the business executives around a port or something like that. It's not like he was traveling the world in it. It was completely just that story, I realized, just so we could all look at it so he could look rich. He drove a Rolls Royce every day. The other owner had a slew of sports cars they were driving every day. But meanwhile, my team I had to hire, they had to get $35,000 a year and work like 60 hours a week. I couldn't get them pay raises. And I won't even tell you about the conditions in China because they had 400 employees in China. I will tell you though that the only time they apparently had bottled water was when one of us Americans was visiting. So they made it seem like there was a lot of bottled water around the office because you can't drink water in China. But since I managed a team there, I got really deeply embedded and learned that was all a show. None of them were allowed to have bottled water funded by our company. Because we were running on such a tight budget.